The laboratories of 2001 announce a major breakthrough in auto protectant technology, Formula 2001 Super Protectant. Its advanced sun-stop formula helps protect against damage caused by the sun's UV rays, like fading, drying, and cracking. What's more, independent lab tests prove Formula 2001 shines better and protects longer than Armor All on vinyl and leather. But what if your car's surfaces are already faded? We went to the Arizona desert to see if Formula 2001 Super Protectant could help restore the appearance of these UV-faded vehicles. Watch what happens to UV-faded vinyl, rubber, even dried faded leather. Get the best protectant under the sun, the one that shines better and protects longer than Armor All. Formula 2001 Super Protectant with a fresh leather fragrance. And for the unique demands of tire care, get new Formula 2001 Tire Foam and Shine. Just spray and walk away. Get 2001 at these fine stores.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Why is it always the same old story? Why ask why? Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. When it comes to a great beer, we wrote the book.
In America, your car is not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Valvoline Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Valvoline Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
They're 2 of baseball's most electrifying superstars. Bo Jackson and the kid, Ken Griffey Jr., clashed when the White Sox faced the Mariners. Tonight, live on ESPN, Tuesday Night Baseball.
June 17th in Toronto, the NHL unveils its award winners. Today, they announced the 3 finalists in 7 categories. Mario Lemieux says Al Morganti should win the MVP. Doug Gilmour's up for that. He's also up for the Selke Trophy. Here's a look at the rest.
Hello, I'm John Smittle, your District Justice in Arnold and New Kensington. As your District Justice, I have many areas of concern. The youth of our community, the safety of the elderly, and most threatening, the drug problem. I have worked hard on those elements that create fear on our streets and in our homes. Progress has been made. Your support is needed on May 18th. Please vote. Thank you.
The prices on new cars and trucks are skyrocketing, with most sticker prices exceeding $15,000 or more. G&L Motors in New Kensington offers a less expensive alternative to new car buying with a fantastic selection of top-quality used cars. Most used cars are 2 years old or less, many with low mileage and available warranties. G&L services every quality used car they sell with their own service department. To make your purchase easy, G&L offers their own financing and notary services. G&L Motors, a logical, less expensive alternative to new car buying.
They're wired for speed on a new course in America's premier cycling event. An international field of champions defy pain and exhaustion as they fight to capture the prestigious Tour de Pont. Tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Visa, honored at over 6 million more places than American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The grand old building on Carlton Street in Toronto, Ontario. Maple Leaf Gardens jammed to the rafters again tonight as the Toronto Maple Leafs try and go up 3-2 on the St. Louis Blues. The Blues, of course, have other ideas. As we're just about set for the second period. With John Davidson, I'm Tom Mees, and it was a very interesting period in front of the net of one Curtis Joseph.
Early in the period, Curtis Joseph used his goal stick a lot. And I think the referee probably watched this stuff and watched it. And finally, a little later, gave Joseph a penalty. And then later in the period, on the power play, you'll see Zombo can't move Andreychuk. The legs are really spread. He's got great position. Zombo tried to use his foot to stop the point shot and ended up ricocheting the puck right past Joseph, the goaltender. Watch Zombo's left leg. Well, trying to check Andreychuk, he reached out with his foot, knocked the puck past the goaltender. Andreychuk never even got a point on the play. Those two thought he should have.
Well, no, those two guys, you might think that they're weirdos, but they're really chief executive officers of two of Toronto's biggest corporations, and this is what they do after the office closes. Hey,
a couple of the airlines I've been flying lately.
I want to quickly point out it's not Air Canada.
No, absolutely not. Wonderful, wonderful.
There's Curtis Joseph warming up, chopping up the ice at his goal crease. And the shot on goal. Actually, at one time it was 6-0 Toronto. Then St. Louis actually tied it at 6. But at the end of the first period, the Maple Leafs started to exert their influence again, and they outshot the Blues 12-6. Felix Potvin doing his loosening up exercise. I can't imagine how a goalie could loosen up in a building as hot and humid as this one.
He never got much work at all, mostly on the one power play prior to the goal being scored. St. Louis never had a rebound shot all period long. Joseph, he really has to retain his focus in front of the net. You'll have lots of traffic there again this period. When we were in Buffalo, Tom, for the game on the weekend in which Montreal ousted the Sabres, Patrick Roy kept his focus the whole game. The Sabres bumped him, drove him into the net on occasion. Patrick Roy just got up and stopped the puck. And I think the players sense that when a goaltender keeps his control, the players, his teammates, keep control. And Curtis Joseph has to find a way to simply worry about the puck and nothing else.
These are two very young men in goal tonight. 21-year-old Felix Potvin for Toronto, 26-year-old Curtis Joseph for the Blues, and sometimes emotions run high. Play back on to start the second period. McCown trying to keep it into the St. Louis zone, but Ron Wilson carries it out. Wilson's got Lowry and Brett Hull with him, and an early penalty whistle by Dan Maruelli, charging the call on St. Louis, Dave Lowry. So just like that, the Maple Leafs go back to the power play. Lowry is having a hard time fathoming the call.
And it's called charging. It's just inside the Toronto blue line. You'll see Krushelnyski. Now watch from the left. The hit from the blind side. Now, I don't know where the puck was, but if it was near Krushelnyski, that's not Lowry's fault. That's Krushelnyski's fault that he had his head down. And I'm not so sure that I agree with the call. I mean, that's a neutral zone body check. You've got to have body checking. And if the puck was right there near Krushelnyski, it's called charging. There was no charge. Lowry glided in to throw the body check, shoulder first, blindsiding Krushelnyski. If Krushelnyski wants to look at the puck, that's not Lowry's fault.
Well, the Maple Leafs scored on 2 of their 3 power play opportunities in the first period. Let's see what happens now. Gilmore skates to the other side of the red line and dumps it into St. Louis zone. Murray Barron tries to clear, but Mironov is there to keep it in. Dmitry Mironov. Pass over to Gill. Gill looking. Gilmore behind the net. Wojciechowski in the corner. On Gill, Mironov's got some room, gets it to Wojciechowski. Mironov tees it up, and it never gets to the goal, knocked down by the defense.
We had that same battle again, Tom. It was in front, Zombo and Andreychuk. Zombo now finally gets a chance to go to the bench for a change. Andreychuk stays on. Remember, he had 32 power play goals during the regular season, Andreychuk did.
Dmitry Mironov up to Wojciechowski. Nikolai Wojciechowski. Of Siberia tries to keep it in. Butcher gets it away and knocks it down the other end of the ice under a minute to go now in the Toronto power play. Oh, Mironov behind his own net. Wilson almost took it off his stick. Andreychuk with a long reach corrals it. Icing will be the call if Butcher can get there first, and the Maple Leafs make a miscue on the power play.
And did Todd Gill make Butcher pay? And it was a good clean hit. As Butcher touched the puck for icing, he was throttled into the backboards. And here in Toronto, these boards and glass do not budge. Watch Gill play the body as Butcher plays the puck. Good, clean
hard, crunching hit. Look at the glass of boards. I mean, they don't budge. In Buffalo, the other night, they give 6 or 8, 10 inches, and it becomes a sponge. And the players don't feel the effects nearly as bad as what you do here. Butcher was absolutely throttled on the play. However, as tough as he is, he stays on the ice.
Oh, yeah, and he'll probably give in kind in a few minutes. So the face-off to the left of Felix Potvin. It's the Maple Leafs on the power play. 34 seconds left in their man advantage. 2-1, Toronto leads it. Second period. Basson and Krushelnyski on the face-off. And Basson wins this one, but Toronto control.
With the power play for Toronto, they just send everybody to the puck and finally got it back.
Basson to Wilson. Wilson gets a good shot, shorthanded. And a save by Felix the Cat Potvin. Here comes Wendell Clark now up the left wing. 20 seconds to go on the Toronto power play. Clark leaves it for Ellett. And the Blues, Garth Butcher blocks it, and the St. Louis Blues clear the zone. Good play by Butcher.
Basson was down in the Toronto zone. Toronto had a 5-on-3. Never got the puck to the goal.
Jeff Brown, the long shot the other side of the blue line. Potvin the stick save. And the teams are now 5 aside. The penalty is up to Dave Lowry of St. Louis. So the Blues survive that shorthanded situation. Curtis Joseph with Clark cruising in.
See what Joseph has to do, Tom? He has to cross his hands to handle the puck. He's not a left-handed shot. He's a right-handed shot. And that takes a lot more time to be able to handle it for a goaltender.
McCown keeps it in the St. Louis zone. Lost a lazy shot in, and the Blues clear it. Sylvain Lefebvre sends it right back in. Kurt Giles goes back for it. He and Quintal on the back line. Brett Hull with it. He's got Janney cruising down the slot, but the pass to Janney intercepted by Zezel. And here's a 2-on-1. Berg has Osborne, but a nice play by Kurt Giles cutting off the centering pass. That could have been trouble. Zezel. Osborne corrals that pass. Back to Zezel. Peter Zezel, the spinorama move around the goal. Off the stick of Joseph. Brett Hull wheels out of his own zone. Shanahan. Zezel falls down. Janney controlled momentarily, but it goes away to Berg. Berg dumps in for a change. Zezel left alone in the corner. This is Janney. Berg Janney. Pass for Shanahan momentarily intercepted. Rich Sutter knocked down at center ice. Andrechuk to Eastwood. Eastwood gets it over to Gill to Andrechuk. The puck deflected in front. Never got through to Joseph. Worszewski's centering pass, and Worszewski avoided a heavy check. Puck bouncing high over the net. Puck out to the point, but not out. Ellett gets it into Eastwood. In front, score!
Tom Andrechuk was still in the zone because he lost his glove. He still doesn't. There it is. He's finally going to get it back. He would have left the zone completely, but he was reaching down for his glove in the corner and then realized the puck was coming back. He's still in the corner. Watch this. Look at him. He's going to get his glove. He says, oh, I better get back in the play. Now he comes in front, and he'll chop a rolling puck right underneath Curtis Joseph, and it's 3-1 Toronto. Great play right here to get the puck down low. One glove, one bare hand. Andrechuk was there, and he chopped the rolling puck in behind the goaltender.
Well, Dave Andrechuk's second goal of the night. And his 10th goal of the playoffs. 4 minutes and 38 seconds the time. And what a trade that's turned out to be for the Maple Leafs, sending Grant Fuhr to Buffalo in exchange for Dave Andrechuk. Not that Fuhr did not play well in Buffalo, he did, but Andrechuk's been outstanding here.
Really helped both teams. And Darren Prupa, the backup goaltender for Toronto, he put in some good work here for the Leafs at the same time.
Now time's a wasted now for the Blues. Why do I say that? Well, they're down 2 on the road. You don't want to get down 3 against this Toronto team, where they can clamp it down on you defensively. Next goal for St. Louis, very important indeed. And a two-line pass, and we're going to have a face-off with 14:49 left to go in the second period. They're buzzing at Toronto. The Leafs lead it by 2.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to La Roche-Guyon, one of the prettiest towns in France. But should something go wrong here, only Visa Gold can get you out.
You had to come to France, eh?
Don't start, Marty.
Because La Roche-Guion's only towing service
No, we're not getting a tow truck. I can get this out.
doesn't take American Express.
Oui?
Visa Gold, delivering what really matters.
Jamal's from.
Honey, that means I eat France.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the smart money is on budget. Save $15 now when you use the American Express card at budget. The smart money is on budget.
ESPN's National Hockey Night rolls on from Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens, and the Maple Leafs are rolling on, leading this game 3-1. 2 goals of the 3 off the stick of Dave Andrechuk.
The last 9 goals scored in this series, Toronto scored 7 of them. Tells you how well they've been playing. They've owned the front of the net of St. Louis.
They solved the
absolutely owned it.
They solved the mystery of Curtis Joseph because of it.
They're just a bigger team. St. Louis needs some of their better players to get scoring, obviously. But St. Louis, if you look at it, really do not have a number 2 centerman on the team. When you don't have a number 2 centerman, it's hard to get the scoring chances. The only way you get it is off the forecheck with the hard work and try to set up Brett Hull, as we just saw. But you only have one Craig Janney on this team. You don't have another real good second-line centerman to set up scoring chances. Not much off the rush. Here you'll see the Blues work the puck deep and in challenge. And challenge. Lefebvre had a hold of Brett Hall's stick in front. You see just hard work. Nothing more than that from the Blues. Nothing fancy whatsoever.
Felix Potvin, 21-year-old rookie. They told him to start the season, listen, son, don't bother to buy a house up here. Just rent an apartment. Don't know how long you're going to be here. They sent him down. Didn't send him down for very long, did they? Face-off now in the Toronto zone, controlled, rather in the Maple Leaf zone. That's right, controlled by Toronto's Glenn Anderson, who carries it all the way up ice and lofts a shot in on goal. It's the side of the net, and Joseph and Giles have to cover up with Mike Foligno right there in front, buzzing.
Mike Foligno has a plate in his leg, held together by a number of screws. He went through a badly fractured leg. He's thinking about having the plate removed this summer once the playoffs are all finished with. He was told before the playoffs started by Pat Burns that he would be a key player for them because of his playoff experience. His know-how at how to play in the playoffs with a big physical player becomes a much more valuable player knowing you play every second night. And he's been a factor, a big one here in this game. He's just a powerful guy. Tough to move away from the front of the goal.
Don't forget the goal he got in Game 5 in Detroit in overtime. Give the Leafs a 3-2 lead in that series. Todd Gill lining up. Joseph has to close the pads and cradle it to his gut again.
Another shot on goal off a face-off that's won by Toronto in the St. Louis zone. And Toronto has won every area of this game to this point. They've been better on the power play. Watch here, Krushelnyski against Bass. Bass is facing the boards and he still can't win the draw. And you'll see the puck. They move back across right here, and then the high shot, actually too high by Todd Gill, right into the logo on the jersey of Curtis Joseph, so no rebound. But Toronto has controlled every single area in this game.
Budweiser Stanley Cup summary. 29 of the 61 games decided by a goal. Close, I guess. Montreal's got the top power play. The Blues, the top penalty-killing teams. And our record, 19 overtime games and counting. And 10 of those 19, they're won by the road team. That may surprise some folks.
If this one goes into overtime, it doesn't have that look right now. Remember this, Dan Marawelli, the referee, he has called 9 lifetime overtime penalties. So he's not afraid. He's not afraid at all to make the call.
I like that. Here's Brett Hull.
I don't know if I do.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Puck loose in the Toronto zone behind the net, and a whistle for a face-off. Or as Maruelli called a penalty. No, all of it's icing all the way down to the St. Louis zone.
Icing against the Blues, and they're being pressured again. Bob Barry knew, and he made the defense change by putting Kurt Giles in. I think he knows that his team has spent so much time in their own zone that after a while it becomes taxing, and the defensemen get overworked. Period after period after period. Remember, 2 of those games went into double overtime, and the puck hardly got out of the Blues zone. I mean, that's been a lot of wear and tear on this defense. Well, Bob Basson will again take a draw for his hockey club. Brett Hull skates over to the bench with a change. Now let's watch Basson and see if he faces the boards. Looks like Hull and Bob Barry having some words there.
Yeah.
But Basson now, look at as he's facing the linesman, he's trying to find a way to gain leverage and win a face-off draw.
Hull and Barry are still having some words in at St. Louis bench. Rich Sutter with it down the corner for the Blues, just dumps it out. We're going to have another icing call. If Mironov gets there first, we will. He does, and again, the face-off deep in the St. Louis zone. Not what you want when you're down 2 goals on the road, trying to catch up. Dmitry Mironov getting the most playing time he's had in any game of the series tonight.
Absolutely, that's something very noticeable. He developed a very bad abscess with one of his teeth, and became infected, lost a good deal of blood. And this was about a month prior to the end of the season. And you lose a lot of blood from your system, you lose a lot of your strength, and it takes a long time to regain it. Pat Burns knew that he just simply didn't have the strength. He wasn't in great game shape, so he didn't play him much. But here in this game, I guess Pat Burns liked the way he looked early in the game. He's gone with him since.
Philippe Bozon on for one of his rare shifts tonight, dumps it in behind the Toronto net.
Penalty away from the puck.
On Toronto.
Manderville was being involved with one of the Blues players. It might have been Butcher, way behind the play along the far boards, and a penalty handed out as Manderville goes, and the Blues now have a power play that has to work for them. Tom, even if they don't score, they've got to find a way to develop offense and get some form of an offensive flow going.
That's a big opportunity now for St. Louis as Brett Hull immediately makes his presence known on the ice. Behind the play as Pat Burns shakes his head, but Manderville didn't argue at all with Dan Maruelli.
Pat Burns will always try to work the referee. Doesn't agree with many calls that go against his own team. See Manderville here. He's with Sutter. He'll hold Sutter up along the boards, and Sutter had to fight to get away and to get back into the play. You see, his team has the puck. St. Louis has the puck. Bozon had the puck, and Manderville kept Sutter out of the play from getting back in. So that's why the interference was called.
At 6 minutes and 43 seconds, Hull and Zenzel to face off. Peter Zenzel, no. Janney controls it. Brown back around the net. Shanahan, he hasn't been heard from tonight. Brendan Shanahan in front and trying to center instead of shooting. Shanahan had all sorts of room.
He centered it to Brett Hull, who did get the shot. Potvin did make the save. Hull can one-time the pass if he has the puck coming out of the left corner. The Blues have to develop their power play in the other corner, the other side of the ice, and then with a pass across, Hull can wind up and shoot without stopping the puck.
Shanahan tries to leave it for Hull, but Zenzel was there and clears the zone for Toronto. A minute 20 left to go in the St. Louis power play. Blues have one power play goal tonight, that by Brett Hull, their only marker of the game. Shanahan, the quick shot, good save by Potvin. Got the right leg out there. Osborne clears it for Toronto to Doug Gilmour. Boy, he does everything with this team, doesn't he? Number 93. Nelson Emerson with a nice pass off the boards, and the Blues break in. And offside to call. They said that Craig Janney was offside. It wasn't Shanahan.
Well, it was a great play by Rouse to knock the puck back outside the blue line just barely. And the Blues put themselves offside. Pressure, penalty killing by this Toronto Maple Leaf Hockey Club. You'll see here, Shanahan will have the puck behind the goal. Look at Brett Hull in front. Shanahan opts for the pass. The strength of Brett Hull as he battled McCowan in front for the shot. Now watch Rouse here. Chip the puck over the blue line. Now it's dragged back in, and the Blues are offside, and that stops the flow of their power play, and it forces St. Louis into putting their second unit on the ice, which means Brett Hull now moves back to the point.
57 seconds left in the St. Louis power play.
And it looks like Bob Barry will go with Basil McRae on the power play, as I think he fully understands that they've got to find a way to put people in front of Potvin for Brett Hull to use the shot from the point.
National Hockey Night on ESPN. Game 5 North Division Finals. The Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Series tied at 2. Leafs lead the game 3-1. With John Davidson, I'm Tom Mees. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight on ESPN. Baseball follows our hockey game tonight. White Sox in Seattle. Lou's trying to put some pressure on, but Dave Elliott corrals the loose puck, and he'll skate it out himself. Trying to hit a breaking Gilmore, but a two-line pass is called. We'll have a face-off with 31 seconds remaining in the Blues power play.
You watch Toronto kill penalties. St. Louis just tried the breakout from their own zone, and all the way up ice, they couldn't make 2 passes in a row to click. You'll see from behind the net. Watch the first pass, it clicks. Now the second pass is going back to the little pass. Now we'll see if it works. Cross the ice because there's pressure. Brett Hull couldn't handle the puck. There's a pass that works. Let's see if there's another one that works. No, pressure here by Rouse. Even though Toronto's a man down, they're not allowing St. Louis to come up with any authority and real confidence on their power play.
Blues win this one, and Brown the shot, and Putman saw it at the last minute.
There's a face-off win by the Blues. That may have caught the face mask of Putman. What a rocket that was by Brown.
What a shot indeed. 15 seconds now to go, and the power play intercepted by Gilmore. They gave the puck away, and Brown had to cover up. Doug Gilmore still with it for Toronto, just lagging the time. And that should pretty much do it for the power play as it goes deep in the St. Louis zone. Vanderbilt stepping out in 1 second, and the teams are now 5 aside. Brett Hull with it at center ice for St. Louis. Hull, he's on the rush and onside. Trying to control it. Vanderbilt breaks it up. And loose to center. Brown just dumps it back in for a line change. Foligno trying to hit a breaking Glenn Anderson, but the play was covered to the blue line. Anderson just dumps it back in for a Toronto change. 3-1, Toronto leading the St. Louis Blues. Game 6, Thursday night, St. Louis Arena. There is a Game 7 in this series. It will be Saturday night right here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Dave Elliott, checked by Philippe Bozon, gets around him and carries all the way to the St. Louis zone. Elliott in deep and gets a good shot away at Joseph, who makes the glove save. 10 minutes, 28 seconds remaining, second period. That man, Felix Potvin's team leads by 2 goals.
Lisa's great, but there's something about Sharon. Sharon's okay, but Lisa, whew, what a knockout.
Why is the grass always greener on the other side?
You lucky dog.
Lucky dog.
Why ask why?
Try a less filling beer with a lot more taste. Bud Dry. It's one thing.
Nice.
That's beyond question.
What do all these police officers have in common?
My name is Patrolman James New, and I was shot once Bob Parcell, and I was shot right above the heart.
Every year, more police officers are shot.
Point-blank range.
Yet fewer die, thanks to an innovative DuPont fiber called Kevlar in bullet-resistant vests.
Tina Dillard, and I was shot twice at close range.
Being a police officer is always going to be dangerous, but it doesn't have to be fatal. DuPont, better things for better living.
There's all the vital statistics. The biggest one, Toronto with a 2-goal lead. It was almost cut to 1 here, but Felix Potvin quick on that rocket off the stick of Jeff Brown as the Blues won a rare face-off, and Brown let it go. It was a rising shot. It appeared to hit Potvin either high on the left arm or maybe up near the face mask. Basson almost skated in unhindered into the Toronto zone. The puck comes back loose to center. Glenn Anderson. Anderson up the right wing looking. Behind the net for Foligno, but Basson is there first for St. Louis. Basson is such a pain in the neck to Jeremy Roenick in the series against the Blackhawks. Taking off the puck. Dave Lowry behind the Toronto net. Bozon fighting for it, and Toronto cleared. Under 10 minutes to go, second period. Blues want to change, so they dump it in behind Potvin. Foligno takes one high from Igor Korolev up around the helmet. Anderson dumps it into St. Louis zone. Blues dump back out. Back and forth we go. Andrechuk takes it away from Giles, but Wilson is right there for St. Louis. Basil McRae rushing in there along with Todd Gill for possession, and Gill gets to it. Combo catches the clearing pass. Wilson takes a good hit from Gilmore. Potential 3-on-3. Borshevsky's got room, and the shot is knocked down by Barron in front. Borshevsky trying to get the rebound. Score!
Oh, man. Curtis Joseph relaxed. He was thinking there was going to be a whistle because the puck was caught up in Barron's equipment. And little Nikolai Borshevsky playing with a cracked orbital bone. You see, this shouldn't happen. It's a 3-on-3. It's defended pretty well. Right here, the shot's blocked. Now watch the goaltenders. Just watch the goaltenders. Watch them. Oh, he relaxes now. And all of a sudden, the puck slides by. There was no whistle. The puck will drop down. And Borshevsky, a little backhand through traffic. Joseph wasn't even looking for the puck. Forgot about it. Thinking that there should have been a whistle, but there wasn't. And with him relaxing here, it cost his team a goal. It's now 4-1.
Joseph's complaining to Ron Finn, but let's be accurate about this. That puck, there shouldn't have been a face-off. It was loose. The referee could see it. The puck dropped down, and he's asking Joseph why wasn't there a face-off, and Ron Finn's explaining it.
There's no indication at all of a goaltending change from the Blues bench. Again, Borshevsky gets nailed. The puck will finally drop down. There it is. Tricky little shot, and I think Joseph is probably more embarrassed than anything else. That's a bad goal to allow. And remember, he took a penalty, which led to a power play goal against. As great as he's been, and take nothing away from him, he's been fabulous for the Blues. The main reason the Blues got into the playoffs in the first place. But here, he just has not had a strong game.
So the Maple Leafs on Borshevsky's goal take a 3-goal lead at 4-1. And now we're able to exert full pressure. The type of game that they play the best, tightening it down offensively, playing a defensive counter-punching type of game. The Blues are going to be forced to open it up. Borshevsky from Gilmore and Todd Gill. They say at 11-11.
And that means that Wayne Gretzky's been tied by Gilmore for the scoring lead. And the fans all over Joseph right now.
Yeah, he made a routine save. They gave him that big mock cheer.
He's been the key on the good side of games and now on the other side of games.
Quintal behind the St. Louis net. Rich Sutter can't control the breakout pass. The Leafs were almost caught in a line change. If Sutter could have controlled that, he might have been in business. And they're chanting Curtis.
I like this too. St. Louis starting to dump the puck in a little more. They've tried all game long to carry it over the blue line, and they've had no chance of making that happen. So now they're trying a little different strategy, it looks like.
Wendell Clark at center, pulls up. Joseph comes out to make a glove save, and he'll clear it to Rich Sutter. Rich Sutter avoids the check by Clark. Murray Barrett has a dribble off his stick, and Eastwood sends Vanderbilt away. Vanderbilt cuts for the net. Clark's the shot to save Joseph.
Clark moved in on two forwards. Brett Hull and Basson were the only two back as the Blues were trying to make a change with a defenseman, and they got caught.
Timeout for a face-off. 6:57 to go, second period. They are loving it in Toronto.
Introducing the power of intelligent engineering, Oldsmobile for 1993. Take advantage of special introductory savings on the complete line of new Oldsmobiles at Ferranti Oldsmobile in Vandergrift. Ferranti invites you to experience the comfort and control, the quality and the value. Ferranti Oldsmobile is one of the greater Pittsburgh area's oldest and most respected automotive dealerships, with an outstanding reputation for customer satisfaction. Visit Ferranti Oldsmobile today on Jackson Avenue in Vandergrift and discover the difference experience makes.
Judge Bill Sellis is a full-time district justice, having already dispensed justice in over 300 cases in our area, tempered with wisdom, experience, integrity, and a common-sense approach. Judge Bill Sellis is a respected, qualified family man, concerned about our youth and about protecting our senior citizens from abuse, theft, and fraud, and he knows when to get tough. We need to keep Judge Bill Sellis doing the job for you. On May 18th, vote to keep Bill Sellis, our district justice in the Lower Valley.
Welcome back to a festive Maple Leaf Gardens with John Davidson, Tom Mees. It's been all the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
The Maple Leafs have never, ever played this late. May 11th. They've never played a May 11th game before, and it looks pretty good for them. During the television timeout, Joseph was over talking to the referee and very animated. Shoulders shrugged, stick up in the air. You wonder if it's still bothering him. Is it eating away? He relaxed. It cost his team a goal. I think he was probably more embarrassed than anything else that had happened.
Went out and had a debate, really, with Ron Finn, the linesman, but Finn was just explaining, look, the whistle shouldn't have been blown, and as they say when you climb in the ring, protect yourself at all times. Joseph didn't not play. Foligno carries into the St. Louis zone.
The Blues have Korolev, a centerman, playing left wing now with Brett Hull and Wilson. Earlier, it had been Lowry in that position. He looked like he was bumped and hurt earlier during this period. Lowry, I'm talking about.
Take a look at the Visa storyline. Brett Hull scoring his 50th career playoff goal tonight. That's the only marker of the game for the Blues. Nikolai Borshevsky's had a good night, a goal and 2 assists. And Doug Gilmour, as John has mentioned, is tied to Wayne Gretzky now with 2 assists tonight, tying Gretz for the playoff scoring lead. Of course, Gretzky plays out in Vancouver a little bit later tonight. He may have something to say.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure Vancouver may too.
That's a tough series.
The only lineup change I hear regarding Los Angeles is that Shuchuk may go in place of Waters, a defenseman, so the change would be a situation where LA would play 6 defensemen instead of 7. And Los Angeles, they played 10 playoff games, only one's been close.
Yeah.
That was a 3-1 score at Calgary, and one of those goals was an empty netter. Every other game has either been very good for Los Angeles or very bad. No middle ground.
And that game will be played much later tonight in Vancouver, British Columbia. Garth Butcher dumps it into the Toronto zone. Sylvain Lefebvre.
You'll see Brett Hull now get lots of ice time.
Good ask if they're going to double shift.
3, absolutely.
Lefebvre in the corner. Wilson pinching in. Brown can't keep it in. The Leafs clear. Joseph will leave it for Garth Butcher. The crowd really on Joseph. A lot of signs here around Maple Leaf Gardens really getting on Joseph's case after Game 4.
Well, he showed some emotions, and maybe wrongly. And he's finally showing some cracks in the old armor, as they say.
Well, we got a penalty, I believe, from Dan Maruelli. We'll have to see. Let's remind you, more Stanley Cup action coming up on ESPN Thursday. A doubleheader. We'll have Game 6 of this series in St. Louis. The Blues and the Maple Leafs will be the last game of the series. We'll have to see. Note the starting time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 8 Eastern. Followed by Game 6 of the LA Kings and the Vancouver Canucks from the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. That game will be following the Leafs-Blues game from St. Louis. So another hockey doubleheader Thursday night. No penalty call by Maruelli, just a face-off to the right of Felix Potvin.
In 1982, Vancouver played Los Angeles in the playoffs. Barry Melrose, the Kings head coach, was asked about it. He said, 82, huh? All I remember about Los Angeles in 1982 is they had ugly, ugly uniforms, and that the Clampetts came from Beverly Hills.
You know something? Vancouver didn't have very pretty uniforms back then either.
Good point.
Ellett to center ice. Zezel controls, but he's 1-on-4, so he'll dump it in. Oh, Joseph almost left it for an open Osborne, who had crept in behind him. Now Zezel in the corner.
That was a play where Curtis Joseph has to cross the hands on his goal stick to handle the puck. That takes time. It took too much time there, and he lost control of the puck as it came around the back of the net.
Greg Janney tries to center. Nelson Emerson with it. Shanahan using the body behind the Toronto net, but nothing doing. 4-1 Toronto. 5 minutes even left here in the second period from Maple Leaf Gardens. Winner goes up 3-2 going into Game 6. Toronto's looking good right now. Puck goes into the crowd. We'll have a face-off, and that young man has a souvenir of the Stanley Cup.
I'll get it, Olga. It's the Americans.
They brought Miller Lite.
Americans are here, and they brought Miller Lite.
If you're on a mission for great taste that's less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Oh, God, we don't have salsa. Someone say salsa.
You like it?
Is that new Bonneville yours?
They really changed it, haven't they?
That's sharp. I figured you for a BMW or a Lexus.
Well, I checked them out. But with the Bonneville, I got everything I wanted. Leather, airbag, anti-lock brakes, and the power, the handling.
Mind me asking?
It was 10, 20,000 less than the BMW or Lexus.
We are driving excitement, Pontiac.
I like it.
Me too.
So far tonight, St. Louis singing the blues, trailing the Toronto Maple Leafs 3 goals. 4-1 is the score on the board. We're back underway under 5 minutes to go, second period. John Saunders and Schoenfeld and Al Morganti waiting for our intermission report. The Leafs clear the zone. Stefan Quintal goes back for St. Louis. Philippe Bozon. Clark carries back in. They rule it offside.
What do these three have in common? Gilmore, Muller, and Jerry. They're all from the same town here in Ontario, Kingston, Ontario. And Don Cherry was a lot of fun. Make sure that the whole world knows about it. Kirk Muller having a fabulous series in Montreal. Doug Gilmore, of course, not only a great series, but a great season with Toronto. And Don Cherry,
he's always having a great
year. He can run
year.
for prime minister in this country and win, I'm telling you.
So you notice the collar, the exaggerated shirt collar for Don Cherry. He has those shirts made in Boston, he told me.
Well, don't whisper that around this country.
Especially made in Boston. That's really one of his trademarks. Where's Don Cherry? Coach of the Boston Bruins a few years back.
Cost the Rangers a Stanley Cup. When they lost to Montreal in '79, his team took a too many men on the ice penalty, allowing Montreal to tie the game up late and then win in overtime. And I'm convinced to this day, nobody will agree with me. The Rangers want to beat the Bruins. And I know
you were upset at that, weren't you?
Wayne Cashman and others will disagree, I'm sure. But I'll challenge them on it.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Montreal whipped us in 5.
Yeah, I remember that.
By far the better team.
I remember that, John. I wasn't going to bring it up. Borshevsky up the right wing boards. So you fellows felt that if you'd have played Boston, you'd have had a shot.
Well, after we lost to Montreal, we did.
Gilmore almost deflected in. The 5th goal of the night for Toronto. Barron tied him up, though, on a faceoff as the net comes off the mooring. Now Major League Baseball, a big part of our menu here on ESPN. We'll have it right after the game tonight. We're also going to have it tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern Time from Oakland. Mark McGuire and the A's take on Jose Canseco, the Rangers. Yes, Jose making his first foray back into his old stomping grounds this year. Remember the trade late last season sent Jose Canseco to the Texas Rangers. So Canseco and McGuire, once teammates, now competitors. That's tomorrow night at ESPN. We'll take a look at the right eye of Doug Gilmore. The little guy, John, but he's taken a beating in the playoffs.
He is without a doubt Toronto's best player with the puck, and without a doubt Toronto's best player without the puck. And not often do you find a star that can carry both ends of the ice. It'll be very interesting to see the negotiations during the offseason here in Toronto. Who will get into the office first, Pat Burns, the coach, or Doug Gilmore, the player? And both deserve wonderful contracts.
I bet you Burns beats him to it. Blues pressing. Jeff Brown got a shot. Puck by the save. Rebound is there, but no blue on it. Oh, Jeff Brown is 2 of the best shots for St. Louis today.
Very high shots, though, trying to hit the top corner.
Anderson wheels and deals into the zone. Blocked off by Brown. Senzel and Foligno got the centering pass. Couldn't control it. Andrechuk behind the net, and Quitcher takes it off his stick and clears to center. Nelson Emerson wheeling into the Toronto zone. To Shanahan. To Emerson. He shoots a no, and a save by Potvin.
That was a 3-on-2, Tom. Potvin's best save.
The save of the night. as Potvin sliding from his left to his right, getting the leg out there.
His forwards for Toronto got trapped deep, and then they were interfered with, and that was a very long, as far as time goes, 3-on-2. Potvin with a fabulous save.
Sutter puts one wide to the stick side of Potvin. The Blues just firing a lot of rubber now. Maybe that's their best strategy on Felix Potvin. Fire it whenever you get in there, boys. Because Toronto's done that with Curtis Joseph, and it's worked. Sylvain Lefebvre. But Sutter tries to clear, can't do it. Under 2 minutes to go, second period. 4-1 Toronto. And the puck covered up. Will have a face-off with 1:48 left in the second.
Pat Burns won't be happy with the fact that three of his forwards got trapped deep, especially with a 4-1 lead. You try to make sure if there's 2 forwards in deep, not 3. Always have one back. And the 3 Toronto forwards were trapped real deep. And you'll see 3-on-2 with nobody coming back. Beautiful pass across. Emerson took a little bit too long, and you see Potvin sliding across. Shanahan moves one direction, passes the puck back the other way, and there the pads stacked on top of one another for Potvin. He read the play very smartly, moved across, and a great save. One area he has to improve his game with is how he handles the puck. Rick Wamsley, the goalie coach here with Toronto, will have Potvin during the offseason work on his forearms and wrists to get them stronger, so he'll be able to handle the puck a lot better and with more authority as he moves the puck around from his goal.
Blues control the face-off. Korolev to Wilson. And Hull knocks it into the zone. Brett Hull and Igor Korolev go for it. Gilmore comes up with it. Minute and a half to go, second period. Borshevsky at center.
Bob Berry still keeps the same defensive pair as much as possible against Doug Gilmore. That's Barron. Ooh, as Andreychuk gets knocked down. That's Barron and Zombo as the pair. And an interference call as Joseph ended up losing his goal stick. And Andreychuk now, with the aggressive play around the goal net, will get the penalty. The Blues need something here. Look at Andreychuk. He reaches out with his leg. He had a hold of Wilson's stick, and he also pushed the goaltender at the same time. Goaltenders in the rule book, it is stated, are not fair game. In the goal crease or out. Watch the left leg of Andreychuk. He's doing his best to move into the goaltender, and Joseph, in a very dramatic fashion, helped the play along to make sure that the referee knew.
Well, Andreychuk got his money's worth of that penalty. He had a goal stick and got a goalie on the way to the box. That's not bad for 2 minutes in the sin bin there.
1:18 to go in the second period. Emerson moves back to play the point, so you have 4 forwards on the ice for St. Louis. Well, Pat Burns has things going his way here. His team has to stay away from a penalty like that in the offensive zone. And in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the period, giving up that long 3-on-2.
And if you're Toronto, though, the bad news is you gave up a power play opportunity late in the period. The good news is you get to split it up. Feel about a minute or so now and a minute or so to start the third period when you're fresh.
Unless they score.
Yes, of course. Harris the fun. Toronto back in the St. Louis zone. Jeff Brown has played a great game tonight for St. Louis.
Last minute of play in this period.
Emerson. Under a minute to go. McCowan just dumped Emerson at the blue line. That's a physical mismatch.
A very aggressive Leaf team. Look at this. Osborne into Hull.
Greg Janney's onside, but Janney has it taken away.
Lefebvre was right there moving in on him.
Oh, a giveaway to Emerson at the blue line, but he loses control. Toronto breaks out 3-on-3. McCowan to Gilmore. Toronto having fun with it in the St. Louis zone on the Blues power play. They look a bit dispirited, St. Louis here. Brown now carries into the Toronto zone. He's got Shanahan at the point. Emerson in the slot. Janney. Hull is in the slot waiting for a pass. And the shot by Shanahan deflects wide to the corner. Emerson fans on it. Hull is there to help guide it in. Only 4 seconds left in the period. Emerson shoots, and that'll do it for the second period.
For the first 3 games of this series, the Leafs had terrible second periods. They were great in the second period Sunday, And they matched that one with a very strong second period here tonight.
And the Blues will start the third period on the power play. And they'll need it. They trail the Leafs 4-1 after 2. Let's go back to John Saunders. John?
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And the Blues have to be wondering right now, losing 4-1 at home and then down 4-1 tonight after just 2 periods. National Hockey Night continues in just a moment. When we come back, Al and Jim will take a look back at the first period and elsewhere in the National Hockey League as well. And we'll take a look at goaltender Tom Barrasso of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Speaking of goaltenders, Curtis Joseph went to sleep a bit on Borshevsky. So did his defense. This one finds the net. And Toronto leads it 4-1 after 2.
Hey, is that what I think it is? Yeah, it's my new Wagner power painter. Well, can you edge with it? Yeah, you can edge like this or adjust it to control the paint up close. And when I'm done, I'm gonna switch nozzles and stain my deck. Do a lot of other jobs I've been meaning to do. Well, does it clean up easy? Yeah, it's quicker than you think.
Why am I painting this by hand?
Good question. Get a Wagner.
When it comes to your financial future, Fortis can help protect you and those you love. Fortis, a worldwide financial services company, $46 billion strong. A powerful choice for mutual funds, life and health insurance, employee benefits. A name you can trust around the world and right in your own backyard. Fortis, solid answers for a changing world.
Why use VALVOLINE motor oil? It's the #1 choice of Indy 500 chief mechanics, Daytona 500 chief mechanics, NHRA mechanics, and Baja 1000 mechanics. For use in their race cars and in their own cars. Any more questions? People who know use VALVOLINE.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold-filtered light with smooth draft taste? At a Fern bar? You don't. MGD Light is far too cool for a Fern bar. Say MGD Light and say no more.
A hot new peanut just rode into town with a spicy taste that's getting everybody all fired up.
Got some more. Maybe you ought to practice with mild.
Try new Planters Heat in mild and hot.
Are you an AT&T salesman?
Yes.
Is your company telling customers that MCI's 800 service isn't reliable?
Yes.
Is that the truth?
Yes.
Welcome back. The lead right now. Toronto up 4-1 after 2 periods against the St. Louis Blues. They would be up 3-2 in the series if this holds out. Now, Jim, throughout this series, the focus has been on the goaltenders, but tonight maybe on the wrong end of the rink.
Yeah, and speaking of focus, Curtis Joseph mentioned he had lost his focus. Well, he sure did on this goal by Nikolai Borchevsky. Focus was not in the mind of Joseph. I don't know what he's thinking here. You see the play scrambled. They're just going to bang away, and he just relaxes. This is the guy that's been absolutely sensational for the Blues. At the other end, the guy that's getting overshadowed, Potvin, with a sensational save against Nelson Emerson. A good move, center to the post, stacked the pads, and a wonderful save. So sometimes, you know, the goaltender that has to perform game in, game out wears down, and I think that is what happened to Joseph tonight. I think the Blues have just relied on him too much. I would like to see him out of this game, let him rest, and have a big, big showing in Game 6 back in St. Louis.
Yeah, certainly he's not going to win this game for them.
No,
he can't score goals, so sit him on the bench, give him a rest.
Exactly.
Elsewhere around the league, Al, word that the Oilers may be sliding out of town?
Yes, this used to be the time of year that Edmonton was in a frenzy for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now they're in a frenzy because the team may be leaving for Hamilton. Word is that Peter Pocklington, the owner, who is not a very popular guy right now in Edmonton, is trying to make a deal to get a better arrangement from the lease at the Coliseum. Right now, it calls for $2 million a year in rent. He wants to pay $1. This is a pretty good deal for Mr. Pocklington, but he's got some leverage because of Hamilton. He's been offered $60 million for the team, which is worth about $40 million Canadian. He wants $100 million. This is a guy that drives a hard bargain. Today, a tabloid in Calgary, or in Edmonton rather, ran a story that Gary Bettman sent a personal letter that says he's backing up Pocklington in his attempt to get a better deal. Well, of course he is. He wants the Oilers to get some leverage to get a better deal and stay in Edmonton. The upshot of this is that maybe we'll get an offer from Minnesota, and maybe Glenn Sather gets in this picture. He's got a lot of money. People like him in Edmonton. Maybe he gets part of control of that team, but they're in a real tizzy in Edmonton over this. Elsewhere around the league, in Buffalo, off-ice news, the news is pretty good. One of the scenes of the playoffs that we'll always remember is this painful scene of Alexander Mogilny getting hurt. The reason it hurts so much here is he didn't have one injury, he had two. The ankle and the leg were injured. The leg was a clean break just at the knee. The smaller bone in the knee was broken. The knee had ligament damage. He went to a place in Toronto, to a hospital in Toronto, where they fixed the leg, and the ankle will take about 8 to 12 weeks, but he will be back strong for next season, healthy, ready to go.
Yeah, there have been a lot of Sabres banged up, and the good news is they're all going to be ready for next season. The longest one will be Peter Svoboda. They expect him to be back around Christmas time. But I think an important thing for the Sabres this year, they got that playoff monkey off their back. They had a real good series against the Bruins. They won a first round. They advanced. And they lost. Although they lost in 4 games straight, they showed a lot of heart, a lot of character against a sensational Montreal Canadian team. So I think this is something they can build on well for next season. And I would look for this team to have a real good start to next year.
Well, Buffalo's used to those tough players. Legend has it you once played an entire season with 2 broken legs and 2 broken arms, and no one even knew the entire season. All right.
Thank you for sharing that.
We'll continue with more in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at some Stanley Cup history. A record. Toe Blake. 25 years ago, he captured the last of his championships as the Montreal Canadiens swept the St. Louis Blues. He retired after the series with 8 Stanley Cups in 13 years as Montreal's head coach.
To demonstrate how Subway's dropping the price of our 6-inch cold cut combo, I'm going to bungee cord drop off this bread. The 700-foot vertical drop gives me ample time to remind you Subway has the freshest tasting sandwiches anywhere because we bake our own bread, cut our own vegetables, and make sandwiches fresh before your eyes. And now with this price drop, our cold cut combo's just $1.49.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
The 6-inch cold cut combo, $1.49 at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Something this good shouldn't be kept all bottled up. For great taste that's less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be.
Tomorrow, the NHL is playing for keeps.
The Penguins face the Islanders in Game 6 tomorrow night, live on ESPN.